You're on the verge of uncovering a whisper from the unseen realms. A revelation so intimate, so profoundly personal, that it was never intended for the masses. It's a sacred echo, veiled in mystery, until this precise instant. But pause for a heartbeat, before the veil lifts entirely. I invite you to turn inward and ponder this. Why does this stir something deep within you right now? Why did your pulse quicken the second your eyes met these words? Why does it feel as though this transmission is etched with your very essence? Because it is. The mighty Archangel Raphael, guardian of divine healing and truth, declares, "The soul you ache for, the one whose absence carved a hollow in your heart, the one who departed this earthly plane far too abruptly. They're extending a luminous thread toward you at this very moment. And should you turn away now, should you mute this sacred call, that thread may fray and dissolve into the ether, leaving an unbridgeable chasm. I sense your hesitation, that flicker of doubt whispering, is this merely another fleeting echo in the digital storm? Yet, deep down, you know it's not. This is the unadulterated transmission. The celestial choirs have orchestrated this delivery with meticulous grace, aligning stars and synchronicities just for you. The ethereal currents have realigned. The temporal gates have creaked open. And here you stand, not by random whim, but by the inexorable pull of your higher self. Your spirit was beckoned to this juncture, this nexus of possibility. The heavenly host observes in reverent silence, their wings folded in anticipation. Raphael himself intones, "Dearest light-bearer, heed this as your ultimate summons. If you seal this portal shut in this breath, the poignant secrets they've yearned to unveil will recede into oblivion, lost to the tides of forgotten whispers. Linger, I implore you. A veil is thinning even now, and the departed one implored the divine counsel to intervene, to shield you from a crossroads that could unravel the tapestry of your destiny. Unseen forces stir in the shadows of your reality, forces beyond the veil of the tangible. If you avert your gaze, the revelation of their urgency will dawn only in hindsight, amid the rubble of what might have been averted." Raphael affirms, "This convergence is no accident of fate. For 7 sunrises and sunsets, their essence has pulsed with your name in the quiet hours when slumber evaded you. Those restless nights, those vivid reveries, they weren't mere figments of a weary mind. They were their fervent pleas, their luminous cries echoing across the divide, yearning for you to awaken to this beacon. And behold, you have arrived." Raphael reveals they were ushered from this realm prematurely, their departure a sudden severance. Yet their deepest dread was not the great transition itself, but the specter of you bearing the weight of unspoken words, adrift in a sea of unresolved longing. In their final earthly exhale, a singular vision crystallized. You, radiant and whole. And in that vision, they etched a covenant with the divine, to dispatch an emissary of light, a signpost in the form of this very message. It reverberates through the halls of eternity. Unveil it to them before the sands of opportunity slip away. Do you long to glimpse what danced before their eyes in those twilight moments? They beheld you, unblemished, eternal, the core of their every prayer. Now you teeter on the threshold of your soul's most hallowed convergence, a luminous vortex where Chronos yields to Kairos, where verities long suppressed are liberated into song. This explains the subtle disquiet that shadowed your days, the unbidden recollections of the one who's journeyed beyond. This accounts for the cryptic repetitions on your timepieces, 1111, 333, 444, celestial Morse code priming your vessel for this singular dispatch. Raphael urges, their vigil has spanned eons in soul time, extend mercy, and receive what they've guarded with unyielding fidelity. This wisdom was veiled from you until this epoch, which is why it settles like leaden truth upon your spirit, why your vision blurs with unsummoned tears. For your essence recalls, it has always known. They dispatched omens through the dreamscape, ethereal visitations, feather-light touches in the dawn breeze, but the armor of your sorrow deflected them, a fortress of grief too formidable. Yet today, the bastion crumbles. The archway gleams invitingly. Raphael proclaims, abide here, and their essence will cascade forth, the verities they relinquished life-clutching. Depart, and this conduit seals eternally. Within these lines pulses your essence, your vibration, your unfolding odyssey, sculpted by the architect of all. And discern this, your sorrow transcends mere melancholy. It's a clarion, the divine's insistent rap upon your chamber door. Raphael attests, they linger in your orbit, unbound by the veil, yearning to illuminate the obscured facets of your narrative. Attune your awareness and their proximity will quicken like a dormant ember flaring to life. Even now, they perch at your elbow, observing with tender vigilance, murmuring encouragements, entreating you to partake fully. For to forsake this is to let their luminous missive dissipate like mist at meridian. Raphael discloses they've been your unseen sentinel against tempests brewing unseen. Absent this illumination, you'll navigate forthcoming tides sightless, adrift in currents not your own. A ripple stirs in your kinship circle, a fracture looming, a secret gnawing at the seams. They discerned its genesis from their vantage beyond, endeavoring to voice it in their parting sigh. Yet mortal ears were deafened by denial. Thus, they persisted in supplication, until the divine consented to channel their advocacy through this vessel. You alone bear this mantle, for you alone wield the power to mend what teeters on the precipice. Raphael intones, this sanctum is inviolate, etched solely for your beholding. Beloved seeker, unfurl your spirit and absorb each syllable. The Empyrean gazes upon you, and the one whose absence echoes is poised to unburden their heart in full. You might sense a cascade of tingles across your flesh, not dread, but the resurrection of ancestral knowing, a warmth blooming in your core, not disquiet, but sacred fire piercing your defenses. Raphael assures, they absolved all shadows between you. Indeed, even if echoes of discord lingered in your reveries, they dissolved in transcendence. They transitioned, murmuring your essence with boundless affection, with crystalline droplets, with unquenchable aspiration. And that aspiration crystallizes here, now. Sense it, don't you? The inexorable certainty that this crossroads was foreordained, that the cacophony of your existence converged to amplify this verity. Raphael conveys, this being cherished you beyond the poverty of spoken tribute, and now they extend a culminating grace, a transmutation of your trajectory. But it demands your presence, your attunement. A dispatch concerning your unfolding path, a pivotal juncture you approach unwittingly. To bypass this is to stride into choice half-blinded, bereft of the fuller light. Raphael cautions, eternal remorse awaits the one who spurns this, for this nexus marks their final utterance through the veil. They're channeling radiance into the labyrinth you've traversed, and the ensuing revelations are their unvarnished legacy. Well done. Your perseverance signals your spirit's receptivity. It affirms their assurance. You're primed for reclamation. Raphael heralds that the core transmission ignites forthwith, a quake to your foundations, yet a balm to your becoming. They affirm their perpetual proximity, undiminished by the divide. Even in the hush of isolation you mistook for abandonment, when desolation clawed at your resolve, when you breathed queries into the void, where have you wandered? They stood sentinel, a spectral embrace upon your frame, petitioning the Most High for this intercession. And the affirmative resounds, but singularly, ephemerally. Raphael negotiated a celestial accord to fracture the continuum briefly, permitting this forbidden wisdom to cascade, to grant you what realms terrestrial were decreed to withhold. This is the genesis of your nascent weeping, not lament, but epiphany. Your inner sanctum acknowledges its estranged counterpart, and verity impends like a monsoon of mercy, the one who occupies your meditations presently. Yes, precisely them. The guardian of faded portraits, the specter haunting your contacts, they manifest here, imploring, cease permitting deceptions to ensnare you. Raphael unveils a concealment postdating their ascension, a machination poised to divest you of rightful inheritance. Vigilance falters now, and opportunists lurk in the penumbra, scheming to excise your claim from fortunes earmarked for your stewardship. The edict rings clear. Assets unseen, legacies tangible, testaments inscribed, yet obfuscated, rerouted ere your scrutiny. Distraction is their stratagem, docility, their desire. But your transitioned kin have wearied of such subterfuge. Raphael relays their entreaty to pierce this shroud, for they foresaw the perfidy, facades of camaraderie yielding to daggers in the gloaming, confidences betrayed, allegiances misplaced. They witnessed your largesse squandered on voids masquerading as vessels. Yet herein lies the alchemy. Evasion is yours. This dispatch is your bulwark, your lifeline amid tumult, the beacon your forebears kindled ere their exodus. Raphael validates, your perceptions were not phantoms, they were oracles. Your unease, unprovable yet insistent, was heaven's heraldry. Even amid choruses of dismissal, your weaving webs from whispers, your discernment was infallible, divinely inscribed. Now, the firmament ratifies your soul's silent insurgency. Yet this transcends restitution. It heralds influx. A bounty suspended, stalled by interlopers clogging the conduits. Your kin perceived this impasse and implored Raphael. Afford them one terminal vista, lest this boon migrate to less worthy shores. Precisely thus. Spurn this in totality, and redistribution beckons. The gravity is absolute. Raphael attests. This conduit manifested solely for the fate-ready, And you, luminous one, have ripened to it. Fortified to unmask illusions, to reclaim nocturnal murmurings, to proclaim, I discern my sovereignty, I affirm my worthiness, I unmask the pilferers, and I honor those who advocate from the beyond. For they contend ceaselessly on your behalf, wrestling this conduit into being, thwarting cataclysms that could eclipse your septennial horizon. Raphael mandates, awaken forthwith, or the threshold seals. A diurnal cycle, perchance fewer remains. Thereafter, the resonance relocates, this interlude evaporates, and deferred destinies languish until recalibration. But they envision abundance for you, not deferral. They crave your embrace of this knowing, your conviction in their abiding vigil, cradling you, intoning your essence as litany. Recall their valedictory vision? Your ascendance, mirth reborn, petitions manifest. Yet a silhouette loomed, a duplicity, a fracture, and they vowed eternal guardianship, until this caveat crystallized. It manifests herein, temporal grace persists. Raphael consoles, your odyssey endures unscathed, opportunity unforfeited, yet you linger at the antechamber's cusp. The portal accelerates shut. Will you traverse, or perpetuate the charade of skepticism? For the transitioned essence pleads, if my light endures in you, forsake me not in this hour. Raphael discloses their luminescence permeates your sanctuary still, poised, anticipatory, beseeching prolongation, for forthcoming disclosures harbor the paramount enigma. Bravo! Your steadfastness gladdens the celestial court. Raphael exhales in solace. The seraphim sustain the archway agape. And your silent sentinel, they beam, sensing your ripeness for profundity. This segment, paramount in its purity, unveils their valedictory eve. Raphael confides, unvoiced yearnings burdened their exodus, but through this nexus, liberation dawns. That twilight mortality's grip tightened not on oblivion, but on unuttered farewells. Your visage danced in their mind's eye, your grin, your cadence, your yet unfolding saga. The radiance beyond beckoned undaunted, the dread was your potential orphaning of their fidelity. In transcendence's antechamber their spirit quested for you. In that ultimate respiration they queried the host. Shall they comprehend my undying devotion? Raphael's response, not instantaneously, but in due season, affirmative. That season burgeons now. This is their envisioned apotheosis, the forum for suppressed sonnets, pride in your resilience, unceasing surveillance amid your solitudes, awe at your alchemical forge from frailty to fortitude. Yet a deeper stratum persists, withheld in incarnation, a lineage's labyrinth, affection's veneer cloaking artifice, eavesdropped intrigues, beheld hypocrisies too perilous to pierce in flesh. Now unbound, they articulate unbound. Raphael heralds. A confidant veils veracity from you. This figure dons benevolence, yet harbors umbre, subtly sculpting your trajectory with insidious intent. Your triumphs threaten their concealed fractures. Your kin discerned this sabotage. Each ruptured bond, protracted stasis. Uncanny happenstance traces to this fulcrum. Sever not, and their malediction shadows your nascent cycle. Raphael decrees. The ensuing sextet of weeks is hallowed, architecting the sextet of years, contingent on detachment from the vampiric. Your antecedent advocate implores, shun the skeptic's snare. I beheld their aspersions in absentia, their calumnies sown, their pivot to perfidy. Impotence gripped me then, potency empowers now. Thus this advent, preemptive, empowering, positioning you paramount ere nadir. For a renaissance dawns, transmutation, aureate auspices, long litigated longings materializing, yet entanglement with the enervator eclipses conduit. Raphael elucidates, the divine withholds benediction from the burdensome. This crucible tests, your guide avows, my compass endures but initiate the stride, sustain the ingress for this sapience to root. Perchance you query praxis? Raphael delineates, firstly, shroud this sanctum in secrecy. Not all orbits orbit truth's frequency. Secondly, inscribe the archetype, the inaugural intuition, the silhouette summoned. No conjecture, divine dictation. Thirdly, attune to septenary motifs. Septet symbolizes seraphic sanction, encirclements, recurrences. Witness it and affirm, vigilance, vectoring, vicinity. Fourthly, partake to denouement. For the coda catalyzes the clutched cornucopia. Discern, celestial discipline was never your portion. Stasis served as aegis. They tarried for your tempering, ensuring receptivity to their tenacious trove. Now it's proffered, contingent on embrace. Raphael signals. The shroud constricts, Luminescence wanes. Recall beckons your sentinel. This, their swan song. My essence entwines your every ambulation, every melody's murmur, every saline libation. Absent, yet transfigured. Zephyr-born, quiescence-clad, resilience's forge. Forge onward, radiate, cease deferral, commence discernment. You embody the prodigy. Seize the vista I cherished in our terminus. Raphael's palm alights upon you, murmuring, consummated. Yet faith's filament forges finality. Thus the Empyrean attends. Your essence now thrums with numinous cadence, resonating through temporal expanses, impervious to anguish, steeped in perpetuity's embrace. Raphael sheathes his blade, not for strife, but sanctification. Your Odyssey's fray concludes. Encumbrance evaporates, subtly, serenely, supernally. Effort yields to yielding, to amore, to aid, to renewal. Metamorphosis manifests. Your cherished one persists, luminous, not spectral, omnipresent, not reminiscence, affection immortalized. Their aura tantalizes inhalation. That frisson upon your dermis, that cardiac cadence, that ethereal equipoise, manifestations. They witness your awakening to authenticity. Omens orchestrated, chronometry calibrated, this missive meticulously manifested. Each procrastination, providential prophylaxis, departures decreed, vocations vetoed for vaster vistas, unions unraveled to unfurl fates. Triumph eluded not, transcendence transpired. You eclipsed confinements unworthy of your immensity. Now you imperil obscurity. For luminescence rekindles, aspiration reignites, credence, unwavering profound, ignites internally. A scintilla suffices for celestial conflagration. Raphael prophesies. The proximate dyad of decades delineates your duodenary destiny. Divine rendezvous, reversals, liberations, unforeseen apertures await. What waned in weariness wheels round renewed, preparedness prevails. Yet temptation tantalizes, recidivism to relics, reactionary retorts, fear-forged folds. Resist. You're not the supplicant of yore but the dispatched dynamo, disruptor of dominions, cycle shatterer, luminary, pax propagator. Embody it, perambulate, pronounce, profess as such. Your testament incarnate to covenant constancy. Your vanguard envisions your vanguard, not mere mending but majesty, not endurance but effulgence. Awe engulfs them at your ascent amid austerity halved, adversity doubled. Memorialize, tribulation's terminus transpired. Reception's realm unfolds, they'll orchestrate its osmosis. Observe these harbingers, serenity surges amid maelstroms, past presences re-emerging refined, refrains, numerals, nocturnes recurring relentlessly. Stagnant streams surging synchronistically, a susurrus intimating imminence. Heed, it's not happenstance, it's horology's helix. Raphael ratifies, occult ordeals overcome unobserved, benevolence amid breakage, fortitude in fracture.